Indian Oil is a Fortune 500 company, ranked 94th today as an energy major. We are shifting a lot of focus towards alternate energies going forward, apart from increasing the capacities of the conventional fuels as well. We were at about 80,000 million metric tons per annum, and we are adding about 20 million metric tons more to the capacities in refineries, and coming up with a new refinery in terms of CPCL adding 1 million electric. So this is the only company in the world who is adding to the refining capacities further to what we are doing today. Because the way India is placed today in terms of how we take our journey from here till the net zero goal of 2050 as we have committed, is that it will have a business as usual till 2040 in terms of, since our population is such, the growth in terms of the the fuels which are conventional fuels, which we get, the fossil fuels, they will stay. Usage will stay there, but some of the new growths will come from the alternate fuels which we are going to introduce in the market in the form of CBG, LNG, city gas, natural gas is already there. Hydrogen will come in. But they are all things which will come in future, and e-mobility in the form of electric charging stations, battery swapping stations, which are coming up at every place in line with the goals of the government of India. Apart from adding bio part of the fuel into the various fuels, we already added into petrol. We have come up with a green diesel. Going forward, sustainable aviation fuel, maybe sustainable LPG. And the biofuels, in there we have put up 2 plants in Panipat to increase the content of ethanol in our petrol content from today 12% to 20 to 25% going forward. So for that, ethanol will be required, and it cannot be just sugarcane which provides. So 2G plant is already in operation, which is using your the wastes and parali, and 3G plant using off gases from the refineries. It's a new technology, is also under operation and stabilization. So wherever we are moving ahead, apart from that, we shall be moving towards generation of energy through the green sources, tied up with NTPC to create a new company, new power, and we will shift our sources from largely coal-based power to the wind-based power. This will add to further things what we are doing. So in that respect, we are moving ahead. Plus, we are making our refineries complex. We are adding further petrochemical plants. My major facility is going to come up in Paradip with an investment of about 61,000 crores as in approved for a cracker, the naphtha cracker plant coming up at Paradip. Panipat is already under production. We already have capacities built up in Gujarat and also in Barauni. Plus, the chemicals will also be a way forward, creating more chemical industry, food to chemical and things like that.
Is it petrochemicals?
Petrochemicals and chemicals per se. Oxo alcohol, let's say we have put up a plant in Dumad in Gujarat, which is producing a separate kind of it's a stream which comes from the refinery, and then it is bringing out all the special chemicals which can be marketed in the USA. So all in all, wherever we are having to collaborate, we are collaborating. We have collaborated with Panasonic recently for battery manufacturing. We have collaborated with Energy of Israel to produce aluminium batteries. And for the Solar Alliance, we are part of that. We are into wind energy. So wherever the new business team of our business development team is working on all these areas to create a new green company. So we are working on both the ends. Like any new growths, any new fuels will be keep adding to that bouquet, and at the same time we shall be obligated to meet the energy needs of the country per se. very apt to the philosophy of nation first ethos what we have built in, and added this particular feature into our mission and vision. So we are all set for that. At the same time, digitalization has been given that impetus to be there along with them at all stages. We have declared 2046 as our net zero goal for operational net zero goal, 15th August 2046. That means 21 years from now, let's say. We spoke on scope 2 net zero operational goal 7 formed and announced. With that intent, I believe we are working to create and showcase how we are going to bring down our GHG emissions as committed to the Government of India. The investments have been lined up. There are some rough numbers, but all those informed measures which are required to bring down the GHG emissions and our refineries, which are the largest producers, let's say 97% comes out from that place. So various interventions are planned, be it change in fuel, be it change in energy of all the drives and everything which works out there, to process improvements, to use of the pattern and all those things. So over a period of next 20 years or so, we will be banking on digitalization to transparently measure, display and see where we are operating at all these places. So more or less this defines our company. We currently are doing projects worth 1.2 lakh crores in refineries, and this is to increase our capacities, and some more projects are getting added in terms of hydrogen already under RFP, 3 KT and then 7 KT more coming in Panipat. So all in all, especially, and then SAF plant again for plants coming up. Wherever we are able to, we are trying to help all these areas. The idea of creating a COE, which we called when we called it I try or studied as this particular thing out here, emanates from the fact that though we were able to identify our digital goals through an exercise in 2017, and were able to bring out about 79 interventions required at various parts in the company. But for the next 2 years, though every division was asked to take them forward, somehow there was no traction coming up. The ownerships were missing. So creation of this COE has helped in a way to have a focused attention on all those areas, to have a team which will be solely focused on creating these digital solutions, interacting, have policies around that, and their sole aim is to do the ideations, work with the functional teams and take it forward. So with that intent in mind, this team got created, and along with a strategic consultant in place to guide and handle the initial pathways, how we should be progressing, we have taken these steps forward, and this has resulted in having a clear-cut digital policy. The interventions in various divisions were identified, and we made a bigger plan, did a smaller POC, the success rates defined how we will move forward, and then horizontally expand. The strategic interventions were in the form of creating company-wide platforms. The platformization approach was taken that whatever I do, I would like to do it for the corporate. So the data gets democratized at all sources. So whether it was the robotic platform automation, RPAs which we introduced, or we did the data management platform to undertake ML-based, machine learning-based analytics of various archetypes, from descriptive to predictive to diagnostic and not descriptive, or various kinds of 70 such initiatives came in. At the same time, we also identified the tech stacks which were improved for across corporation, for various activities which we carry, like projects. As I said, 1 lakh crore. We have put up an end-to-end project management suite to look at each and every aspect of the project and which is being monitored from here. There is a special monitoring room there. People can sit down here. Cameras are also there. The interventions are also there, with a view to see that the projects come on time and all those things. So we need not be asking for reports from anywhere now. The vendors have been lined up to put their reports right into those platforms and the portals which we have created. Similarly, the basic success came from the functional teams getting infused and ideated with us to giving their problem statements, which we have converted to solutions, and to involve them in a big way. We conducted several hackathons of various technologies at several intervals. We did a mobility hackathon, we did a RPA automation hackathon, then we conducted a GenAI hackathon recently, and lately have been the Sustainathon, which was open to the entire country, to various people who are getting innovative ideas on various 9 themes of sustainability, which is the next goal to us. So these things we ideate, we do, and as a group then go back to the various divisions. So till today, since 2019 when we got created, about 200 plus initiatives are there right now, more than 50% already done, and their benefits estimated by the team and given to the management. For every intervention, we go to that route of estimating the final benefits, what we have achieved. Either intangible, tangible, whichever. We have looked at all the technologies which are coming our way, from AI/ML to RPA to AR/VR. We created a new digital experience center at Learning IIPM, wherein we have showcased all the technologies, how they can be used for various activities. And now GenAI is the next block, for which again we tied up with Microsoft. We did a GenAI-thon for our company, and 800 teams were there from our own company, and they gave us beautiful situations which they can provide to GenAI. They were trained, and they were trained to make some models. The top 33 ideas are there with us. 10 have been put into use. And so all in all, what I say, COE helped us in creating some specialized expertise within the group. So within the COE, we have another COE for, let's say, AI/ML. I have a COE for RPA. We have a smaller COE for GenAI. So we have created smaller teams within this group of 27 people, who can further look into and make themselves upskilled on those areas. During this journey, obviously, that was one idea which also helped us. And then interacting with most of the tech companies, looking at their thought processes and their ways they can bring value to my company. So we interact in a very big way to anybody who's interested, apart from the big ones. Right nowadays, we are working towards an ESG platform, to see how we will be presenting ourselves to the public in terms of environment, social, and governance as I go on in my journey. And they are auditable platforms going forward to next year. The idea is to make it as digitalized as possible. Data should flow from where they get created, and so that nobody has to say that this is not that data. So single source of truth we have tried to create for most of the cases, especially with respect to families. That's why they are the biggest gainers. OT was otherwise very segregated. They were never coming to the IT side to see what's happening out there. Today we get, that entails larger responsibility on us. So we are putting up a OT security center as part of the regulatory mechanisms, and things in that order are coming up in the meetings. So all in all, COE helped us in improving my digital maturity from where I was, on various parameters to world class in 60 to 70 parameters, and innovative in many ways. The end result is that the companies have been identified the digital company of the year on a year by 50 for the last 3 years. and many other organizations who come in and see our projects. So those are the benefits, and I see that this could not have been achieved if it was a business as usual teams. Then we get lost in doing your daily operational works. We can't do that. So idea of digitalization in creating COE really worked well. Basically, criteria are very many. Like if I say I invest 300 crores on a project like interior planning tool, which entails does my primary planning for my company in terms of purchase of crude oil to production to all the demand which goes into it. So the accuracy of models and what is the outcome, what are the processes which are getting integrated, what are the data which I am handling, how many times I handle, it goes from source to source of its own, or I put data from A to B or B to C or A. So all those things keep a track on the accuracy of the models. If I improve that by 4%, 5%, 3%, a company of my nature which entails so much of capex on buying my team, which is 85% included, it makes a huge difference. Even 10 cents per barrel if I save by any of these methods, it's amounting to a lot of increase. So basically what we do is whenever we create there is a technology and there is a solution which we want to implement. So there is a very simple technique of there is an as-is process. How do we do it today? And what is it we are incurring? And there is a cost which is allocated in this process and what is going to do it. And there is a to-be process which we follow. The two outcomes are then seen in terms of what is the way we are improving. The outcome indices are also intimated. This is the indicator of a better improvement or not. So this starts from the user teams and right up to their finance, till my finance here. Everybody gets the process and the things which come in part of that. And those yearly tangible or intangible benefits which are user themselves define when they are using the technology are then vetted. Even there they don't take the 100% of the benefits, they give margins for buffer for certain numbers and take the other buffer out, and then they are signed off how they can. So it means how many years I am able to take my return back. So they are per annum benefits. I am not incurring that thing, then I will do business as usual. If I am intervening, then for every annum I am saving that much of money. So those are a recurring kind of benefits which you start incurring. So as such, we have invested, let's say, about 1,000 crore rupees in the last 4-5 years in various projects which we have done. So far, in terms of generic number, the benefits have ranged from 4x to 7x of the value which we have given. Many of them have been done by our team here, the AML. If I look at yield optimizations, customer churn, if I am able to prevent my customers from moving out of business by proactively reaching them, and by my churn technology which we have used here to see which are the customer have churned by AML. So we have saved value and money there. So various numbers, as I said, if I put it investment and I see the values which have come out till now, the values are ranging from 4x to 6x. So they have been vetted by the finance in terms of like RPAs are direct hitting into my man hour saved. The repetitive complex things which they were doing in filing a GST report a year today is being done by a robot, which works on its own as a specific period of time, takes our reports from 10 different sources, then brings the final report and it is filed. Or my TA bills are getting approved through a robo for the company. The number of time man hours I save out of that are being freed from my routine mundane jobs to more decision making jobs. So those kind of benefits, if you multiply, those are also being seen by which are finance will be big user and a beneficiary of such interventions which have come through the robotic process automation, which these complex things which What we have done here is, as I said, is to first, as part of our platform approach, we had put up a platform called the data management. We put up a platform, single store platform, which was put by Infosys. Now this platform is now integrated with 50 data sources in my company, which are on the OT side, which are on the SAP side, which are on the CMS side, and wherever the data is being created either. So structured informations wherever we are creating and wherever we are using. This data is not a data lake, it's a data management platform. We get this data here for all those AI analytics what we are doing on the data for various interventions what we have done so far. A. B, then there are dashboards which we have created for the company. We have 3,000 KPI dashboard for chairman, director, and revenue down the line. So here the this data management platform has the capability to handle all kinds of data, whether it's structured or unstructured. For any visualization, we have used, let's say, ClickSense as my visualization tool in terms of showcasing. Here I slice and dice the data and put it and make the rearrange templates where I need to see this data where I see. The source of data can be either structured, that we have collected, or it can be a SharePoint or an RPA which brings the data from wherever they are. Dashboards means it's a visualization. We have visualized through ClickSense visualization, and they are self-servicing dashboard. People can look at it, they can also change and see how the things change. And what we are actually trying to finalize and give it to the chairman and everybody else in the company is dashboards of various KPIs across which are connected to the data sources, which have been identified by everyone, like that 3,000 numbers, which may be government MU data, जो भी उनको देखना चाहिए आज के, they will. Now the sources of data and the visualization can be a structured data which is connected to my sources. It can be an ecosystem through which I get in data through API. It can be source data. If it is by showcasing, let's say, on a line I'm showcasing the share price of all the companies or share price of I'm moving every day. So I'm sourcing data from outside also. And there are data which are unstructured and they are created through Excels by various people who are reporting the data, which is not created in the system. So those are also taken in, and from those the information is taken and put the way it is to be seen. But they are the people. That's the only way the top management see the data, and they are not being changed. So we are trying to bring down as much unstructured data as possible. But in case, like for new businesses and wherever we are doing, this data management platform is able to handle both. But it is a pre-defined place. They just do it, put it at a place, we pick it up from there.